WikiLeaks gives us yet another important and interesting revelation. This time it's about Israel and how they are treating the territories in the Gaza Strip. After the 2008 pounding that the Gaza took, they, of course, did a blockade, etc., in that area. And we, had a sense that the Israelis were trying to limit things coming in, not just to prevent terrorism, but almost as a collective punishment to make sure that the people in Gaza did not get economically healthy or anything along those lines. Those suspicions have now been confirmed. These are cables that the American diplomats wrote back home as to what the true Israeli intentions are. Here is one of them. It says in 2008, as part of their overall embargo plan against Gaza, Israeli officials have confirmed to the U.S. Embassy economic officers on multiple occasions that they intend to keep the Gazan economy on the brink of collapse without quite pushing it over the edge. So the idea is, let's keep these guys prisoners. We control their borders. Let's keep them on the brink of economic collapse. To me, that's hideous. It's, as I said, it's collective punishment. It's saying, I don't care who's firing the rockets, even though actually they've already crushed them, and at that point, almost no one is firing rockets. I don't care. I'm going to crush you until, what? Maybe because I want to have an advantage in negotiations? If you're that desperate and you can't feed your family, maybe I'll get something better out of you in negotiations. And by the way, this was Ehud Olmert's government, which is actually less conservative than the current Israeli government. But that's not all. In January of 2008, one more thing from the cables. They said they want the coastal territory economy, quote, functioning at the lowest level possible, consistent with avoiding a humanitarian crisis. Like, we want it just a shade above humanitarian crisis. And by the way, remember when the Turkish ship came in, the Mavi Marmara, and they tried to end the blockade, which was keeping them at near catastrophic levels? The Israelis said, oh, no, this has nothing to do with keeping the people of Gaza down or destroying their economy. No, we're just trying to make sure that they don't get materials that they could use in terrorism. You see this? It was a lie. A flat-out lie. Here's one more quote for you. Olmert said, but there is no justification for demanding we allow residents of Gaza to live normal lives while shells and rockets are fired from their streets and courtyards at southern Israel. Except, as I told you, they were already crushed. And there weren't that many rockets, if any at all, being fired in that stretch, let alone all the way to now. But that campaign has been consistent. Now we find out even Olmert has admitted some and publicly, and now we find out through the leaks that, in fact, yes, that was their stated goal, to crush the people of Gaza. Look, if you're in favor of Israel, you can't be in favor of this. You gotta step up and do the right thing. You gotta convince the people that are voting in Israel, this is not the right way to go. This is not what Israel should be about. This is atrocious, man. No matter how much you think you want to protect Israel, if this is what you think you have to do, I think you got to reevaluate. You got to reevaluate your priorities. And I'm going to go further. I got to be honest with you. I think you have to reevaluate your morals. If you think that keeping people just a shade above humanitarian crisis and catastrophe is the right way to go so you can gain a small advantage over them, that ain't right, man. If you think it's right, somewhere along the lines you slipped. You lost perspective. You need to regain that perspective. And I think the whole world has to help the people of Gaza. Enough with the occupation. This is